Hey everyone, and welcome to another action figure review. Today we are going to be looking at the not yet released NECA Halloween 2 Ultimate Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis 2-pack. Stay tuned. So before we get into the amazing figures, we'll just take a moment to take a look at the packaging. Okay guys, so taking a look at the packaging, on the front you have this very awesome poster. The Nightmare Isn't Over, Ultimate Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis, plus a 40 years sticker. And that is a sticker, it's not printed on, it's actually stuck on. On the side you have the Halloween 2 logo, NECA Real Toys, and plus The Nightmare Isn't Over in lettering. Same on the other side, same on the top. And then on the bottom you just have a load of legal guff. Then on the back you have this very awesome poster of all the figures in various different poses, which I think is really cool. I really like this. I mean, that's a display piece in itself right there. Very good. You've got the Michael on fire, you've got Dr. Loomis, and then a big version of him, then you've got the crying tear blood. Very awesome. I love how they've done this. And then also you have a viewing window inside, and you've got these profile pictures of the characters in various different poses. Then you have a viewing window which shows off the figures and all of their accessories. And when the action figures are removed from the box, on the inside you do get this diorama of the hospital room, which is very awesome. This is the room where the final fight scene with Michael took place. And yeah, it's just a very nice detail and would be a great thing to display both of your figures in. Right, so now that's out the way, let's take a look at these amazing figures. Now, I'm going to start off first with Michael Myers, just because he is a figure that we have seen many times before, just with some slight modifications. So, some of you may be thinking that this is just an exact re-release of the Ultimate Michael Myers from Halloween 2, but actually, you are wrong, that is not true. If we just bring in the Ultimate Michael Myers, you'll notice straight away there is actually quite a big difference between them. So the bodies are a different colour. This is more of a greyish blue, which I actually prefer, that in my personal opinion, whereas this is more of a turquoise blue-green. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixture between the two. Sculpt and detail is exactly the same, just as you've come to expect from these Michael Myers bodies. They are just exact reuses. If we also bring in the 2018 version, see, I've got quite a few Myers now. You can see that they are practically exactly the same body, except the 2018 version has the addition of the flat pocket. So the big difference with these figures is the masks. Now, it's purely down to personal preference, I think, which one you guys prefer, because looking at photographs and having seen the film myself, I would say in terms of more accurate to the mask itself, I would say this one is the more accurate, but I have seen many photographs and even, scenes where he does look actually a lot like this, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Maybe an expert can explain. I know the mask did go through quite a bit of a bashing, it had been tucked away for years and the latex was starting to decay a little bit, so it did make the mask look very strange. Also, it didn't quite fit the actor who played it in this film, because he was a different actor, so it kind of plumped it up a little bit. Not to say that he's overweight, I just think it's his different face size. It did make a drastic difference to the mask. But overall, I have to say, I do really like this new head sculpt. One thing that I like a lot more is that the eyes are much more concealed. So with this one, you can kind of see the eyes are very visible, whereas this one, you can roughly make out that there's eyes in there, but they have been darkened, which is nice. As you can see, the light just shines on it. You get that slight sort of shininess in there. I really do like that. It just kind of makes him look more mysterious, a bit more frightening. So we'll put the original one out the way because this is the one we want to focus on. In terms of articulation, everything is the same. The head can do a full 360, but I'm not going to twist it because I don't want to scratch any of the paint off. Although I don't think you will, because the soft PVC is very soft, so it makes for quite a good motion. You also can lean it to side very well as come forward quite the ways and back really far, so that's really good. The arms can come right the way out. Not all the way, because they are slightly hindered by the PVC overalls. You have a double joint bend at the elbow, so you can bring his arm right the way up. You have a full 360 at the hands, as well as a slight forward and back motion. You can rotate the arms as well on both the upper and the lower part of the double joint. The legs can come forward surprisingly far. However, I wouldn't advise that you leave them in this position because you stand more of a chance of warping the PVC, which you really don't want to do. There is a single bend at the knee, so it can come quite far back. It can also bend out to the side, as well as pivot. And then lastly, you do have a side-to-side motion on the foot, as well as a forward and back. So in terms of articulation, it's everything that you've seen from this body before. There is absolutely no changes. If you own previous Michael Myers figures, you will know what to expect here. And as I knock the camera over, that. So really the big thing with this figure is the head sculpt. And it does come included with the alternate head sculpt. The accessories in this set is plentiful, which is wonderful. I think it's going to make you definitely want to pick this set up. So, as you can see, this is the blood teardrop Michael, and I love it. His eyes are still in there, you can see them, but they're very darkened, so it's not quite as visible as on the original swappable head. You know, I just think the paint is far better here. Even the blood seems more drawn out. You even have the inclusion of the stab wound in his neck, which is also on this head as well. So to swap the heads, very easy. I love this system that they have. They have this nice peg joint here, and then you just have a nice peg hole there. So very, very simple. You take it out, and then you just clip the other one on. I say very simple, and then it never works. It is a brand new set, so yeah, give it that. But yeah, sits on very, very nicely. You can recreate that sort of scene where he gets shot very, very well, as illustrated on the packaging. So yeah, other accessories for Michael are as follows. Now, this set includes every accessory that came with the original Ultimate Michael Myers. So you get his 4 interchangeable hands. I believe he came with 4 in the original. I think so. And you've got an open hand, like he's reaching out. You have a hand which I'm assuming is for holding the syringe, because it does look very much like it does. You have a hand for holding the hammer and a hand for holding the knife. So it's very nice that they include all of that with you. And speaking of the weapons, here we have his vaccination, which I have a huge phobia in needles, so this is quite, it's incredibly detailed, very well. And then we have, of course, his trademark knife, which is far longer than I remember. This is actually a bread knife, because it's very long, and plus you've got those nice little sharp bits on it. Very well painted. And yeah, and then lastly you do have a hammer as well. Please focus. There we are. So another thing which I suppose I will include as Michael's accessory, but actually it's really just for both the figures, is the awesome Halloween 2 pumpkin. Now, in the original Ultimate Michael Myers set, you did get 2 accessories that sadly you don't get in this set. One of them being this version of the pumpkin that opens into the skull, and the other one being the Ben Tramer head sculpt. So that might make it worth going back and picking up this set. But if you guys would rather pass on it, I completely understand, because you are pretty much getting everything in this set but better, except you're not getting this pumpkin and you're not getting the Ben Tramer head sculpt. So, you know, it really is up to you guys at the end of the day. Personally, I think it's nice to have both variants, but, you know, I understand when it comes to money, if I had to go with one, well, get this set, obviously, because you're getting Dr. Loomis. But you do get this very awesome pumpkin from the cover. It's so well sculpted and so well painted. It has this really nice texture that makes it look very realistic. I'd say this is the best pumpkin that NECA have released so far. The wash is really nice and the texture is really great. And then lastly, for Michael's accessories, we have the flames. Now, this is quite a big part of this set, actually, as you can see on the box. So to attach the flames, I'm just going to remove the scalpel. Oh yeah, he does also come with the scalpel. Sorry, I had it in his hands. Yeah, and that just slots into this pre-sculpted hand to hold it, which is the hand that is on the figure when you take it out the box. So to attach the flames, in order to get this one on him, you are going to have to remove the head, because as you can see, it kind of is almost like a necklace. It just kind of sits over, and you want to make sure that you fold, you don't trap those PVC bits on it. Personally, it doesn't really click on. I find it kind of just sits on there. Maybe other people can get it on better than I can, but so far I've only been able to sort of clip it on like that. And then this flame piece here specifically, I don't know if I just stand him, has actually been sculpted to his face. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is these eye hole pieces, and they just kind of connect. I hope I can actually get it on now, because that's in the way. Move that back. And oh dear. Right, well, I'll remove the head for a moment, and then you just clip them onto the eye holes, and they slot in there really nicely. So that's what it looks like. And then just clip that on, mind out the face. And then you have these bits, which I'm assuming clip onto the other pieces. So this bit here looks like it goes on the arm. I haven't actually, oh yeah, perfect. So that just slips on the arm there, which is really nice. And then it doesn't stand very well, this one. And then these ones here clip on the legs. And really, if you want to know which leg is which, just look for the direction that the flames are going, and I'm sure you'll figure it out very quickly. How exactly you should display it is entirely up to you. It's really what you guys prefer. Just move this out. As that falls off. I'm probably not doing this in the best way I could, so I apologize. I'm certain that that's how. So yeah, really what you end up with is something like this. I've probably done that terribly, but with the legs, but yeah, you get what I mean. So it's very, very strange, but very, very cool. And some of you guys might even consider picking up 2 of these sets maybe, just so you could display, or you could go back and get yourself one of these guys and then just put that head on this body and have this Michael Myers in flames, and then you display that one, or you could have this one in flames and display this one, so you can have a bit of a range in your display, whatever you want. But yeah, that's actually really, really cool. This is the first time I've done this, by the way. I haven't improvised or practiced, so yeah, that actually does look really, really nice. Before we finish up on Michael, I just want to show you guys the retro cloth version. Now, I actually think that the head sculpt that they have used is far more closer to this retro cloth. And I think when you put the two side by side, you really can see that they are the same sculpt. Obviously, this is smaller, and I think the paint has really highlighted the details a bit more. But I don't know, there is something about this retro cloth version, even though it's been simplified, I still think it is my favourite. Here's the original, so you can see that obviously there's a massive difference between these two. They don't even look like the same Michael Myers, but here it kind of meets halfway, which I really do like. You know, so as I said, even though I have three of the same character, I feel like there's enough difference between them to justify their purchase, even though they're all drastically different takes on the same character from the same film. I just think that's something to keep in mind. I really do think that this head sculpt has been more inspired by this retro cloth version than obviously the original, which a lot of people did complain about the sculpting and the paint. So just something to keep in mind. So now on to the one and only Dr. Loomis, played by Dominic Pleasance, a fantastic actor who sadly is no longer with us, and I'll bet he didn't realise that he would be immortalised in plastic. I just wonder, wherever he is now, God bless him, he must be looking down thinking, my God, you know, young adults are going to have, you know, with children's minds, are going to have me stood on their shelf as a little plastic guy. But just take a moment to appreciate that likeness. This sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to lie, I didn't like the look of the retro cloth Dr. Loomis and Laurie. They looked okay, but I just felt as though something was missing, that they weren't quite up to scratch. I understand the retro cloth are meant to be older figures, so they've got a more animated look to them. I still thought they looked great, but the Dr. Loomis in this set, for my money, is just the superior in every way. It's a fantastic head sculpt. Now, sadly, when I got this set, his head popped off straight away because it hadn't quite been molded properly on the inside of the head, so there was a lot of extra plastic in there. So my uncle very kindly filed it down for me, so we were able to clip it on. So now it's on, but I apologise if maybe it does still look a little like it isn't on there properly. This is the best we can do, so yeah, this is just my version. I still like it, I think it's great, but, you know, NECA, you really have got to sort your quality control out, because, you know, when you pay a lot of money for a set like this, you do expect the best. But that's my only gripe. In terms of everything else, this figure is just an absolute masterpiece of a figure. I mean, it's great. Literally, from top to bottom, it's great. I'm really happy, and I mention it every time, they're using, if I get the light on that, but they are using the new ball joints, the ball peg joints, so this guy will stand really, really well, and his legs won't get loose, unlike the Michael figure, who does have a loose leg and a loose foot, unfortunately. So as you could see, I was struggling to stand him. Not with this guy, he stands really, really well. So we'll do a quick run over of the articulation. The head can do a full 360, as well as pivot from side to side and forward and back really, really well because of the ball peg joint. His arms can come right the way out, unlike Michael's. They really can come right the way out, as well as do a full rotation around. His arms are on a, not really double jointed, but they can come up really, really far, which is nice, as well as swivel. His hand can do a full 360, as well as move forward and back. His waist, he has a full 360. His legs can come roughly forward, but they are hindered quite a lot by the really tough PVC waist, which I really like. I like that it's tough and it's not soft and pliable like that is, because it can get a bit strained, which I worry about. With this one, I don't worry about that. He also does have an ab crunch, but it's very, very mild. But yeah, you can lean him forward and back with the ab crunch joint, which is nice. And then His legs can also bend to the back, but are also not extremely far because they are slightly hindered, but far back enough. I can't really see you posing this guy in a pose that isn't, you know, like you're not going to put him in a ninja pose, so nothing to worry about there. You also have a rotation at the shoe, and also you can pivot from side to side, but it's very stiff, so just be careful when doing that. So overall, the articulation is very nice, and he does come actually with swappable arms. Now, this is entirely up to you how you display him. Personally, I'd like to keep him with the jacket on, but if you do want him without the suit, well, you simply just pop out the arms. Oh, and there it goes. Pardon me. Dropping everything. So, yep. And then the other one. These do come out surprisingly easy, I have to say. As you can see up in there, very nice peg, very sturdy, doesn't feel like it's going to break. If this was an older NECA figure, I would be so stressed about doing this. And also, they are marked L and R just so that you don't get them confused. Then you simply slide off the coat. I really hope that this works because this is the first time I've done this. Then, oh, yeah, oh, wait. Let me just click that in. I'll probably have to do that off camera. Oh, there's going to be so much editing that I'm doing here. And there he is. So very nice. Now, just to be sure that they're in, you will hear this pop when they go in. So if you're unsure whether you've fully connected it or not, you will hear this very loud pop. So that's good. This is this is the first time I've done this, so you guys are literally experiencing this with me. So the next thing you do is twist off the hands. They just pop straight out there. And then you simply connect them onto the suit. So there you go. And then same with the other hand. Just pop it off and stick it on. Like so. And there you have a Dr. Loomis in just his regular suit. I think this is awesome. It just gives so much more value for money to the set. I can't really think of many scenes where he looks like this, to be honest. I think in Halloween 4 I remember him being just in his regular clothes quite a bit. But in Halloween 1 and 2, I always remember him with the coat on. I can't actually picture a scene where he's without his coat. But it's still nice. I mean, it gives you a real wide display option. So just having a look at his suit. They've given him this sort of white speckling over the brown. And I think that's to kind of insinuate some texture. At first I thought this was really weird, and I thought, oh no, that's not a factory error, is it? But no, this is actually how it is. So that's really cool. And it's got this really nice feel to it. I noticed that NECA's newer figures, like the Nightmare Wolf from the American Werewolf, whatever they're doing with the plastic, they really just create this texture that actually feels like, you know, like it is a fabric. And it's really good. And you see the stitch line going down the back, and even on the pockets, it's just absolutely fantastic. And his shirt, you've got a nice wash on it, so it's not completely white. Oh, this is so cool. I love this so much. This is great. Like, the fact that you get all this. So taking a look at Dr. Loomis's other accessories, not as much as Michael. You have his revolver in this hand, and he does actually come with 2 revolvers. So you can actually dual wield, which I also don't remember him doing. I probably need to watch the film again. But another very important accessory, which I think just sets the set up perfectly, is the swappable hand with the lighter, which, as you guys know, is how he, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, Michael comes with flames, so you figure it out. I'm sure you guys have seen the film, that's why you're watching this video. But no, just absolutely awesome. And if you do want to put the lighter hand in, just pop off. It is for his right hand, obviously, and then you just sit that on. And it's a real shame that he doesn't come with a cigarette, because that would just be great. It's like, need a light? I think he does. He does. There is a scene where him and the sheriff are sat in the car, and I think the sheriff wants to smoke, so he just gets the lighter out for him. 5, 10, 15 years ago, I was told there was nothing left. No sense of right or wrong. The blackest eyes. Yeah, just awesome. Absolutely awesome. So overall, what do I think of this figure set? It's amazing. There's nothing more to say. It's absolutely amazing. I think it is definitely one of NECA's best sets that they've ever released. If you guys are wondering how I got this early, because I'm sure many of you are, NECA didn't send me it. I'm not big enough or valuable enough for them to do that. I actually got this from AliExpress, and no, it's not a bootleg. It's just they release them first in China, because obviously that's where they make them, and they just sell them on AliExpress. So, you know, it's a way of getting them over here at a slightly cheaper price, because this set is going to be about £90. I would have paid for it, no doubt, because I love the look of this set, and you know, but I just got it from AliExpress. It was slightly cheaper, a bit of a risk when you buy from AliExpress. I'm just going to put this out now. You could be buying faulty stock, or you could be buying bootlegs, but I would be willing to bet money that this is a real figure set that is just being sold over there early. So just keep that in mind when you buy. Use AliExpress at your own risk. But I'm just going to say this is an absolutely amazing set, and despite the quality control issues that I've had, obviously I've been able to sort them, and this is absolutely incredible. Just really, really great, and I'm sure that when this set does come out over here in the UK, you're all going to be very happy with it. Obviously, you guys in America will get it, I imagine, slightly earlier, as you always do. You get everything earlier. Lucky gits. Yeah, so you guys are going to be enjoying it as well also, or wherever you are in the world. So if you're a fan of Halloween 2, or just a fan of Halloween in general, definitely go and buy this set. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and happy wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.